I know all the other YouTubers are talking about round 2 of the playoffs and how the OKC Thunder and Nuggets series is crazy, or the Knicks and Celtics are really battling it out. But you know what? I'm not ready to talk about that yet, because instead of that, even though I'm watching those games, I am so intrigued on what the Houston Rockets are going to do this offseason, and the way that they lost in that first round against the Golden State Warriors, it has not left my brain. Because on one side of things, they could make a great decision that could build their franchise and make them even more of a contender than you may have considered them to be before. But on the other side of things, they could make a really bad move that could actually wreck everything that they've built so far. But before we start talking about the offseason and what exactly those moves are, what moves maybe I think are best or worst for them, we need to talk about this playoff exit and the actual series that we just saw a couple of days ago. About midway through the series, or when it kind of looked like the Golden State Warriors could have a chance at winning this round, a lot of people were saying that the Houston Rockets are the worst second seed we have ever seen in the history of the NBA. Now, I can't recall every single number 2 seed we have ever seen, but I guarantee you that's not true. The Houston Rockets put up a fight in this series. I can't look at a team that goes to a game 7 against a very established and very, championship cultured Golden State Warriors roster and say that they're a bad team. Yeah, if you look at the seeding numbers, you might say that the Houston Rockets should dominate the Golden State Warriors, but they push it to a game 7. Okay, they deserve some credit for that. As for the actual game 7 performance that they put up, I mean, I know I hate Buddy Hield a lot on this channel, but how do you let Buddy Hield do that to you? There were a lot of issues with that game 7. I mean, Şengün wasn't really himself offensively, and you can give credit to the, Golden State defense for what they did there. Curry was able to really only heat up at the end to secure the game, not like the Houston Rockets had a chance anyways. And then honestly, even though there may have been other problems and other things I can go into, the biggest issue, and we saw it all series long, is Jalen Green. Now, I should clarify, I don't want to beat a dead horse here. I know everybody and their mother has been talking about Jalen Green and how terrible he has been in the playoffs. Shit, even he said himself that he did not play good. I think he said, word for word, I played like shit. So I'm not going to hammer it too hard, because we all know that it was disgusting. Unfortunately, though, I think it was so bad, and I think his regular season as well has been just so god-awful and inconsistent that it might be time to move on. And so this is where we kind of start to talk about the future of this team. What does that look like? What are the moves that we're going to see? Because online, if you go through any subreddit, Twitter, Instagram, fucking threads, I don't even know, you are going to see pictures of Kevin Durant and Giannis in Houston Rockets gear, and you will never be able to look away. It's always there on every single platform. And shit, when you first see that shit looks good. I mean, just imagine KD playing back in Texas with the Houston Rockets with this new, young, fun core. We haven't seen that since the OKC days. He was established in Golden State. He was kind of established in Brooklyn. He brought in his guys. And then in Phoenix, I mean, what a shit show that's been. So Kevin Durant in Houston, man, that sounds like fun. That sounds like a great time. But when I look at some of these mock trades for Kevin Durant, and I'm seeing guys like, Jabari Smith Jr. being thrown in there, maybe I'm crazy. A lot of people call me a casual for this take, but I don't think it's the right move. There's a certain problem I have with KD in Houston, and it's not that I don't think he would fit with the team, or I don't think his chemistry would go well, any of that bullshit. I don't care. KD is literally the most plug-in player of all time. He fits anywhere. But once again, when it comes to these trade packages, when it comes to what I have seen people say the Houston Rockets should give up for KD, I frankly don't think he should be valued that highly. Kevin Durant is 36, if I'm not mistaken, years old, maybe turning 37 soon. I don't know his exact birthday. And that's not to say that he's washed or he's not good or he's going to, slow down over these next couple of years. But goddamn, he's 30-something years old. He's in the late 30s. So if I'm the Houston Rockets, the last thing I'm doing is looking at a 21-year-old Jabari Smith Jr. I think a lot of people forget that man is 21 years old. The last thing I'm doing is trading him for an old KD that is going to get me maybe 2-3 years a playoff run. Who knows about 3? 3 might be pushing it. Maybe 2 years of a good little playoff run. That's taking into consideration injury, once again, age, everything like that. That's something that me personally, I would not do. Now, if the price was right, obviously I am taking that deal. That is Kevin fucking Durant. You want him on your roster. But if I'm going to make a big purchase, if I'm going to make that big buy, it's going to be for Giannis. This is a bit more speculation. We don't 100% know if Giannis is going to be leaving Milwaukee, and if he were to leave Milwaukee, if he would even want to go to Houston. He might say, fuck every team. I am going to LA, a big market, and I'm playing with Luka Doncic. But once again, I see that jersey swap of him sitting in a Houston Rockets jersey, and I can't help but talk about it. This is a bit different with the Kevin Durant move because I've seen a lot more people talk about the Giannis speculation from a lens of like, I don't know how he would fit with the team. Bitch, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't give a fuck if he doesn't fit. You make that shit work. I think the Giannis deal is one that if I'm the Houston Rockets, I'm taking. I don't care if I'm giving up Jalen Green. I don't care if I'm giving up, Tari Eason, Jabari, whoever else they're able to trade. But I do feel like if there are any untouchable players, maybe you keep Şengün there. Maybe that's crazy for me to say. Maybe you do give up Şengün, but you keep Amen Thompson. I don't know. It sounds absolutely crazy to say, but I do feel like there are at least one or two untouchable players for the Houston Rockets if you do make that move, because what's the point in trading for Giannis if you're going to be giving up half your core or 3/4 of your core and not even be able to properly build around him because you're going to be attaching picks and everything like that as well. But those are the two big trade rumors and speculative things that we see. I want to talk a bit more about the actual realistic things and things that the Houston Rockets need to take care of. First things first is their contracts. They got some players that they need to re-sign. Once again, I've already kind of said it in this video, but you guys can tell how high I am on Jabari Smith Jr. He needs to get an extension this year, but you also have to look at guys like Van Vliet. Is Van Vliet someone who you think as a 31-year-old is going to be the point guard for your team, or do you use your top 10 pick that you're getting this year and use that as a way to get yourself some sort of guard? Now, I will be completely honest. I don't know anyone in this draft class that would be worth drafting at the guard position besides like Zakai Ziegler, and that's a fucking second-round pick gem. So I'm not 100% sure about that, but me personally, I don't know how I feel about Van Vliet, even though he did have himself a great playoff series this year. He's one of those guys that I'm not sure of. Maybe you guys can let me know how you feel down in the comments below. So obviously, that's a big deal. You have a lot of contracts you need to take care of. Obviously, the Fred Van Vliet, like I mentioned. Steven Adams is a free agent this offseason. Do you look at him and say, yeah, I am willing to pay you a lot more than everybody else because of how good you were in our postseason run? I personally feel like that would be a good move for them. So I guess my kind of take for this team is you make your move for Kevin Durant if the price is right. I feel the same way for Devin Booker as well, even though there's been a little bit less conversation surrounding him. Giannis, you pay a little bit more, but once again, the biggest thing with this team is do not overpay. That goes for a trade, whether it's Giannis, what the hell? Giannis, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, whoever it is, Trae Young, I don't fucking know. You do not overpay, but that also goes with contracts. You don't overpay Fred Van Vliet. I don't think he is worth an absurd amount of money because he had some good three-point shots this postseason. So it's about the overpaying, but it's also, and maybe this is just something small, you guys can let me know down in the comments below, give Reed Sheppard some more time. I feel like Reed Sheppard was someone who, I mean, he was what, the 3rd or like 4th overall pick in this draft? And it's almost like he was a non-factor, not only in the postseason, but in the regular season as well. I feel like the Houston Rockets started playing him and then realized, damn, we're kind of a good team, so we should maybe focus on your development being more on the G League side of things. And that's something where it's like, if you could put, Reed Sheppard out there and he could play his game, he can learn and grow, especially alongside a guy like Jabari Smith Jr., you are doing nothing but adding to your already good core with more young players. But when I look at their draft capital, which is a number 9 overall pick as of right now from Phoenix and a 59th overall pick, I think about it, I go, is it even worth having that? If you're not even going to play Reed Sheppard, your 3rd overall pick from last year, who knows what you're going to do with the 9th overall pick this year? Granted, the draft class is better, but there was a lot of hype surrounding Reed Sheppard. I mean, I don't know how to feel about that. Maybe that's something where you have to be really deep into the Houston Rockets, like fan base trenches to say like, yeah, Ime Udoka doesn't like what Reed Sheppard packs for lunch, so he doesn't get any playing time. Like, I don't know. That being said, hope you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe while you're down there commenting your opinion on the team. And yeah, I will see you guys all in the next one. Later.